Hello everybody, how you doing today? My name is Tony Rosano, and this is Online Marketing Moves, the show that talks about everything from entrepreneurship to accountability to action and all points in between. Alright? We're coming to you live today. It is Monday, December the 7th. 2020 at the time of this recording. Now, I saw something yesterday. Well, first, today we're going to talk about email marketing and why is it important. But first, we are going to talk about something that I saw yesterday, and I thought to myself, I was like, what, are you kidding? But I'm like, this guy's kind of a marketing genius. This Floyd Mayweather, you know. This Floyd Mayweather, we all know him. He's a boxer. He's like 50-0. Money Mayweather. He goes around. Now his boxing style is sort of defensive. Floyd, he counterattacks. He's not Mike Tyson. I don't know if you noticed or not, but I'm sure some of you probably watched Mike Tyson last week, but in the 80s and the 90s, Mike Tyson was must-see TV for people. He would throw these haymakers, and Mike Tyson's goal was to knock you out. Mike Tyson's goal was to leave you flat on your back, and people paid $49, $59 to see Mike Tyson swing wild, swing vicious, and knock people out. But Floyd Mayweather, he's not Mike Tyson. He's a counterattacker. He's a defensive boxer. And that's great and everything, but those fights are kind of boring. But Floyd Mayweather, a marketing genius, has found ways to sort of vilify himself. You know, he flashes the money. He tells people, you know, I'm rich, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So for some reason, people, they either love Floyd or hate Floyd. He's not milquetoast. He's not in the middle. You know, you either love the guy or you don't like the guy. It's people pay to see him fight, or people pay to try to see him get knocked out. And Floyd Mayweather has been hyping up his fights. And I remember when he fought Conor McGregor, they was charging people $99 for this fight. And I thought to myself, who would want to watch this fight? All of Floyd's fights are kind of, not that they're great, but I mean, he's a defensive boxer, so he waits on people to punch. And people always complain, I can't believe this fight. I paid money for this fight. This fight's so slow. It's like, if you know the fight's gonna be, I'm not saying that, for the money that you're gonna pay to see Floyd Mayweather box on pay-per-view, $99 and things of that nature, it's not really worth the money, because you're gonna be disappointed. Floyd's gonna win. He's not gonna get knocked out, and you're gonna be disappointed that you spent your money. But Floyd Mayweather is a marketing genius because he keeps bringing people back. And now I saw yesterday, he's gonna fight. Well, first off, I didn't know this guy had a brother. He's gonna fight Logan Paul, I guess the brother of Jake Paul, who knocked out Nate Robinson. I didn't know Jake Paul. I barely know Logan Paul. I don't know these boys from a hole in the wall. But they're going to fight. And I saw this and I said, how much are they going to charge these people? And if you order before such amount of time, they're going to charge you $29.99. After that, they're going to charge you $69.99. And I guarantee you, people are going to pay $69.99 to watch Floyd beat up a guy who got his fame from YouTube. And Floyd is going to market this. Floyd is going to get on the TV shows, the talk shows, and Floyd's going to say this and say that. And people are going to be like, man, I'm not going to pay for this. And then at the end, they're going to pay for it. And Floyd's going to make an exorbitant amount of money. And I just wanted to let you know that if we could all take some marketing tips from Floyd Mayweather. We can all take marketing tips from Floyd Mayweather. Because I'm amazed. I wouldn't I wouldn't pay for this fight if you put a gun in my head. But that's just me. But people will. People will pay. Especially once they say $29.99, they're gonna say, "Oh man, that's the deal right there, man. $29.99, sign me up." You know. And especially now that if they get Snoop on the commentary, because last time Snoop Dogg, he stole the show with his commentary, so they'll get people signed up. But anyway, shout out to Floyd Mayweather for being a marketing genius. So we could take notes. Even though I don't really enjoy him being the president, but Floyd Mayweather, Donald Trump, these are examples of lightning rods. It's not a he's okay with me. You either like him, love him, or you despise him. It's not either or. And sometimes in marketing, the one thing you don't want to be is won't get you anywhere. But anyway, today we are going to talk about email marketing. Now, why do I bring this up? Because email marketing, some people will tell you, email marketing, blah, 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 blah. But you want to grow a list, you want to build up a list, and you want to email your list on a regular basis. Now, I have been guilty of letting this fall by the wayside sometimes. Letting this fall. But now that we are 130, I'm just kidding. We are 100% committed. We talked about commitment yesterday. And if you missed that episode, go back and check it out. We talked about commitment. But, email is important because, for one, no matter what social media site you're on, they can't take your email list away from you. Facebook might kick you off because there's been I've seen quite a few people who go on Instagram, they get a big following, and then their Instagram account gets disabled. I'll give you an example. This guy that I used to see every now and then, it was called The Wrestling Classic. He had, I guess, 500, 600,000 followers, and then one day he was gone. That was it. And I guess he must have fought, and they had to go through like a 3-4 month process for him to get his Instagram page back. But if the Wrestling Classic has an email list, he can just email his legions and legions of followers and say, "Hey, I'm still here." And then you could do things like post pictures of wrestling or whatever you want to do in your email, and you could tell people. You could always contact people that way. You could tell them to subscribe, all this kind of stuff. So that's why email marketing is still important. It's vital because you don't want to get to the point where the one thing you don't want to do is depend on any social media site for your marketing. I mean, I remember 1999, 1998, it was a social media site called Black Planet, and I remember I was in the Great Navy, and I'm on the boat on the USS John Young DD-973. There's a lot of people who had a Black Planet account, and then, I got out of the military a couple years later, and I really didn't keep up with it because once I moved back out to small town USA, so I didn't think about it. But I remember it was about 2007, 2008. I asked somebody, I said, "Whatever happened to Black Planet?" They said, "Come on, man, that's gone." And I remember I never had a MySpace account, but MySpace was all the rage for a while. And I think I remember it was a girl that got famous from MySpace. What was it? Tila Tequila. I believe she got kind of famous from MySpace. And MySpace is gone now. So just imagine, Facebook might be around for a long time, but you never know. Instagram might be around for a long time, but you never know. Twitter, all these things change. All these things come. All these things go. TikTok is a big one now. All these things come. All these things go. And you build up a big following. And then if one day they either kick you off or they just up and disappear, what are you going to do? So this is why I suggest, I don't care who you are, I don't care what you do, I don't care whatever spectrum you're trying to be, get a email get a email list, so that way you can always reach out to them. You can always keep in touch with the people that like you, know you, want to get to know you, follow you, all that. Okay. Now me, I'm gonna tell you, I in the beginning I used MailChimp. MailChimp was a nightmare for me. Okay. I used MailChimp. It was just too complicated. They have and then they got MailChimp, GetResponse, Aweber, Constant Contact. They got all kinds. I use GetResponse. For me, it's easy. For me, it's only like $15. It's not bad right now because I have under 1,000 subscribers. But eventually, probably within, I say 4 months, we'll have more than that. So, but the price will go up. But the revenue in the business will be going up. So, with that being said, get yourself set up with email. Now, why do I say this? Because as we talked about, social media you should rely on it, and the email list is always there. So especially if you're like in affiliate marketing, or you're a coach or whatever, say it's the holiday time now. It's around the holiday time. Say if you have an email list and you have a book that you're gonna put out, you can start, and you don't have to. And this is one thing I advise you not to do. Don't wait until the book comes out, then you're like, ta-da! Hey everybody, let me email you and let me get your money. No. You start prepping up the list. You start emailing them before. You talk about the book. You give a couple inserts. You write a few emails. You pre-sell. And then when the book comes out, you say, boom, here's the book. Always pre-sale. Never treat your email list like it's a prostitute. You're like, hey, here's this thing. Boom, give me your money. Now, of course, I always recommend that every time you send an email, you take them somewhere, whether it's to your YouTube channel, your podcast channel, whatever. I always say, hey, click on this, click on that, because the people on your email list are looking for something from you. They're not just on your email list because you've been their best friend since you was in kindergarten. No, they want what you have to offer. They want to get to know you more, but they also want to know what they want to be in your world. So you have to, one of the most important, if you can get this going, then you are in there. One thing that is great is like, if you can set up your own little world, it's like, I'll give you an example. If you ever driving down to Florida and you're on I-95 and you're about to cross into South Carolina, they have a place, and it's a whole world. It's called Pedro's, and it's an old time, like, they got like restaurants, they got like games. You can go there and you can spend the whole day there and just walk around, and you would never have to leave that place. That is kind of how you want to set up, well, eventually, if you can, this is how you would like to set up your own little virtual world, especially if you want to run a full-fledged online marketing business. If you have books and videos and all this kind of stuff, then people would never have to leave the little world. But then you can email them different offers, all kinds of things. But if you're in the beginning stages, of course you don't have that going on right now. But you can always email them, say, hey, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Even if you don't have a YouTube channel, any videos on your YouTube channel, you can always tell them to pre-subscribe because the videos are coming soon. Even if you don't have, say, if you're going to start a podcast, you can always tell them, hey, check out the podcast is coming soon. Get ready. And then when you drop the podcast or whatever content you're going to create, you can always pre-tell them about the content. I mean, I've done that a few times. I've said, hey, to my email list, one email I just said, YouTube channel is gonna be up and running. But for the one thing I do once a week I'll write an email and I'll talk about the podcast, and then I say, hey, this podcast is available wherever you find your podcast, and then I'll post I just write something that ties into the podcast, and then I go, oh, if you want to learn about online marketing, or if you want to learn about check out this podcast. And that's it. That's once a week. I should ramp it up to twice a week. But you always want to drive them. You always want to drive them somewhere. It's like getting in the cab. If you get in the cab and the cab driver says, oh, we can just sit here, I mean, that's not doing any good. But once you get into the cab driver says, where do you want to go? And then you tell them where you want to go. That's how it is. That's how it is when you email people. You're driving them somewhere. Drive them somewhere. Drive them where you want them to go. No matter what offer you have, no matter, before the offer, during the offer, after the offer, email them and take them somewhere. Take them to a place. Okay? Now, let's recap. 1, let's all hope we can market like Floyd Mayweather and get millions and millions of dollars. But you and I probably would pay our taxes. I don't know if Floyd always seems to have tax trouble, but that's a whole nother story. Number 2, don't rely on one social media site. Think about those that are in the dust. The Black Planets, the AOL Messengers, the MySpace, those are gone. Just because Facebook's been around for 10 years doesn't mean it's going to stick. All right? And number 3, email them and take them somewhere. I don't care if you're pre-selling. I don't care if you're into selling. I don't care if you're pointing them out the content that you have created. You are the driver. Drive them somewhere during your emails. All right? With that being said, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this podcast about email marketing. Of course, we will get more into email marketing because there's many ways you can go. We didn't even talk about autoresponders. There's a lot of different things. Now, I will tell you something before I go. I have 2 weeks worth of emails loaded up as of today. The one thing that if you want to save yourself some time, sit down one day, come up with a game plan, and even if they're not 3 pages, just set up a game plan so that way you can set up the email for a couple weeks, because automation is once you get going, you'll learn automation is a beautiful thing. Start thinking about the emails, how you want to write them, what you want to talk about. It doesn't have to be 1,000 pages in the beginning. It doesn't have to be long. Just get into the habit of trying to set up a week. Even if it's 3 days, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and at some point you'll have enough emails to one of these days it'll be like 3 or 4 months. You won't even have to look. You just like, all right, I got the email going, I got the autoresponder going, and it's just flowing. And then you're just making sales without having to do the work. And that's the whole point about this whole online marketing thing. The more automated you can get things, the easier it will be for you. So just think about the emails you want to write, and we will get more into that as we go further. But today I just wanted to point out that, hey, make sure you are, no matter what you are, no matter who you are, no matter where you're at in this business, start email marketing. All right? With that being said, my name is Tony Rizzano. Hope you enjoyed this episode. We will be back tomorrow with another hard-hitting episode. And until then, as always, everybody, peace.